Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We're excited to have Christina Farr here joining us today. Excited to talk a little bit of a recap of the theme of kind of decluttering the whole thing, improving relationships, so on and so forth. So, Christina, let me ask you for a little recap of that on the law of attention and law of attraction. And just for new time listeners, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jill. What an amazing welcome. You know what? I always used to call this a Monday when I was teaching in Taiwan. So I have been teaching in Taiwan for just about 12 years before I came to the States. I'm originally from South Africa, which if people look at me, they always raise their eyebrows. In fact, when I lived in New York, Jill, I had some very interesting conversations with people who discovered that I was from South Africa. Some people would even ask me, if I was comfortable seeing movies being made because, was that new technology to me? And it was really interesting because I'd giggle and go, well, no, we've had movies the same as everybody else. But the one thing that is a little bit different from being born in South Africa is that we grew up with a concept of Ubuntu. And Ubuntu means that we're all connected, we're all one, that my life is possible because of everybody's contribution to it. So a little bit of what I do is nourishing naturally healthy living with Being Better Me LLC. Because let's face it, there are so many expensive treatments and therapies out there that so few people can actually access. And nourishing naturally healthy living is accessing what's available to you right here, right now. For example, if it's a Monday today, not a Monday, but a Monday, which is something really fun we'd always giggle about with the 2-year-olds and the toddlers. Teacher. But, you have to think about it. Is it a Monday? Maybe it's terrible and gray out there. The winter's coming and people are kind of feeling a little bit despondent. Let's just kind of tap in. Let's push down on our big toes right now. Let's just push down. That's natural. Push down on your big toes. Those are your stabilizers. Take a nice deep breath and think, here I am tuning into someone who has traveled the world and seen some really interesting things and some really crazy things. And she's coming with this little bit of bright spark of push down on your toes. What the heck is going on here? Talking about the law of attention and the law of attraction. But this is what manifesting is. This is what creating your life is about. It's tapping into yourself. Because one of the little quotes I've seen going around, which is quite fun, is most people are other people, not themselves. And that's one to sit with, that most people are other people and not actually truly themselves. And this is what the call to action is about today. It's about tapping into your innate self, into the wonder and the power of being who you are, no matter what your life circumstances are. Because all of us want more. This is the one thing that is common throughout, and I have traveled the world. We all want more. We all want our families to be safe. And we all want that ability to step out into the world with some form of willpower and create something that we want. This is something I've seen everywhere. And so what do? Let's nourish it naturally. What comes naturally to you might not come naturally to me. I'm not going to point a finger at you and tell you to change how you're being and who you are. I'm just going to accept that your way of being is different to mine. I mean, we love to eat out, don't we? We love to have different cuisines. And I know in New York City is one of the places you can eat the world because everything is available. That's just who we are. We add our own spice to life.
And we got to make some power steps, take some action, right? To get what we want.
We do. Well, this is the thing. So the law of attraction, the law of attention is paying attention to what's going on in your life. So if we're paying attention to what's going on in the world right now, it is a Monday. Everything seems, discombobulated. There's just a mess everywhere. And when you go into your home or into your phone or into your emails or into your business place or into your office, it's usually a mess at this time because we're in transition.
Yeah.
And that creates more anxiety. You've got low level anxiety. The minute you step out the door, you're already feeling, and then you go out and somebody gives you their bad attitude. What's that going to do? You're going to have a bad, experience. You might not get on with your friends right now because we've got elections and stuff like that coming around. And I'm lucky I can't vote, so I can talk about this freely. I don't have any particular input one way or another, but I do know that when you are living in a space that's clear, or you have clarity in your day-to-day functions, if you know what you're going to be doing, you feel less anxious, you feel more in control. And when you're paying attention to how good it is to be you, I get to do these wonderful things, not I have to do these things. I get to do these great things. You're going to start paying attention to how good it is to be out there. You're going to start noticing that the sun feels good on your skin, that taking a deep breath of air feels really good. You're going to notice that when you are able to connect with people and you can give them a little bit of brightness and you see that smile on their face. Mm-hmm. When you didn't have to, you could just have walked on by and been like, whatever, whatever. But you stop for a minute and you give a bit of your attention and a little bit of your beingness to somebody else, to use those buzzwords. And I will call out that I use buzzwords all the time because people do connect with that initially until they start to feel comfortable with who you are. And they see that, hey, you're really strange and you're okay with it. Maybe I can share a little bit of my strange and my weird with you. And then what you start paying attention to, you start attracting into your life. I know this is true because of my own experiences, Jill. I wanted to bring into my life healing because of seeing my whole family struggle. Endometriosis is one of the big words on my social media, on Being Better Me on Instagram. You can actually see I posted it took a while for me to post this, but I posted a video of my seizure. I have non-epileptic seizures because of all of the nonsense that I have undergone through the years. And this is one of the reasons that I nourish naturally healthy living. I have products on my website that are made by people who've got their own journey. There's skincare that's filler free because a lot of people cannot use the cheaper skincare. They need something that's a little bit more nourishing, things like that. But where do you go when there's so many shops? I mean, TikTok shop is one thing. I can sit on there and scroll forever. And I'm like, I want to buy it all. But then where do you have the space? But what it is, it's understanding that everything that you want is possible over time and maybe not in the way that you are experiencing or that you're expecting. So what I wanted to do was nourish my naturally healthy living. I have found that tapping into the easiest things like breath works. Sharing something authentic with somebody works because what you start to see is they open up to you about their own experiences. Somebody on the seizure video said that they're afraid to tell their doctor about their seizures. How can they get better? So let's stop that. Let's stop that shame. Let's stop that fear of sharing and let's actually tap into taking action because your emotion is what is going to create what your world is. So if you're paying attention and you're feeling down, all you're going to get is more and more down. And I've discovered this. As you're paying attention to what's wrong in your life, you start feeling really sad. Everything gets contracted in your body and pain sets in. The more pain sets in, the more you have what's called a pain cycle and a pain spiral. It just feeds on itself over and over. You can go and Google this. It's very interesting. Let's flip it on the other side, though, because how we see with our eyes, our brain flips around. What is happening to you right now, the opposite is possible. Let's explore that. Let's dive into what is possible. If you're feeling that you want to create something new, taking action is beautiful. What we're going to feel is look around at your community, look around at your friends. What need is there that you can identify? What can you do? What simple, small step can you take? You don't have to save the world. The world's going to take care of itself. What you can do is say, hey, you know what? Just as you did with your boys, we have got items that we do not need anymore. They're taking up space in our home that we would like to have for something new to come in. Christmas is coming. Hanukkah's coming. We've got all these beautiful holidays. Kwanzaa's coming. We've got space that is being taken up by clutter. Let's take that and put it somewhere where it matters. Let's think about shelters. I know one of the headlines I was reading is that animal shelters are being filled up because people cannot afford to take care of their animals. That's their family. What can we do about that? Maybe
we just adopted a cat from the shelter 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and she's blind in one eye. Yeah, she's 7 months, and so poor thing, but we love her. Her name's Jackpot.
Jackpot. But that's it, Jill. That's it. You identified a need. There's a life saved. There's a life saved. What about those who can't? Who can connect with manufacturers? This is the thing. We can do some simple things. If you know somebody who is needing pet food for their animal, what can we do? Let's say we've got 10 friends that we're like, look, our friend really needs help with their animal. We need help with pet food. Maybe we can sacrifice one coffee out a week and we can each contribute $5 to $10 to a pot. And that's what can help them through this difficult season.
Yeah.
What do you think happens when you identify a need and you step in and you see someone's life change exponentially because of a small step that you made?
Which, well, I mean, like adopting the cat. I
Yes.
feel like we did it then, right? Because that poor cat needed a home, needed love, needed someone, and let alone what's blind. So, people might not take the one that's not normal. And we were like
Right.
drawn to it. So
And your family and your boys, I mean, they must be loving her.
they get up early now. They're helping me with the litter, the food. They're obsessed with her. And but they could, so like, I love my kids like they love this cat, like
Yes.
squeeze them. So now my little guy who's 6, he's like, Mommy, I love her. We call her baby girl, even their names. We love baby girl. I'm going to squeeze her so hard like a pimple. She's going to pop. I'm like, yes, that's how I feel about you. Like, you don't get it. Like, I try explaining to them how much I love them and I want to squeeze them. And now they
Yes.
feel that squeezy love with the cat.
That's it. Well, this is the thing. So what you're getting to experience is exactly this beautiful example. This is identifying any. You've got your recruited, your dedicated members, which are your boys. They're getting up and doing things that they haven't done before.
Mhm.
They're getting to experience what it is to take responsibility.
Yeah.
You're getting to see who you are and how you have taught them to be in a nurturing way. What
Mhm.
a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
How are the responsibilities going?
Going well.
Yes.
They're doing it. I'm shocked. I walk in, we do the litter, we do the water in the morning and at night, scoop the poop. They're okay
Mhm.
with it. I'm like, 'cause I told them like it's a lot of work and Santa might be bringing them another one for Christmas. So a lot of work. So I'm training them just in case.
Yes, there you go. But this is it. These are the steps you take. I mean, that took action. Look at the joy that you're feeling. You've
Mhm.
lit up just talking about her right away.
Yep. Mhm.
Now, what is the long-term goal? What is the long-term, kind of hope for this to continue with the boys? What would you like to see carrying for, like going forward?
Well, just their continued love and affection and playtime with
Mhm.
her and keeping up the responsibilities because that usually dwindles. Like people say, oh,
Mhm.
a kid begs for a dog, and I cannot do a dog.
Mhm.
Got to get up, you got to walk them, got to. I'm like, I can't even. Lucky I make it myself to the get to myself to the bathroom. So I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah. So that and the kids always say they're going to do it, and then the kids back out and they're not walking the dog. The adults doing it. So I'm like, this is a little
right.
easier. It's in the house, but I just want them to keep up the responsibility and
Mhm.
just see them beam with this joy of love and to learn how to love and take care of someone. It's just beautiful. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful.
It is. And what do you think that's doing for their self-esteem?
Amazing things. I mean, they
Right.
feel like the smile on their face is just so beautiful. I wish I could show you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is well, you're showing me through your own reaction,
Oh,
which is
okay, good.
which in itself is beautiful. And this is what I love about working with people. It's these interactions when people understand that this beautiful, loving step that you took. Which I'm going to show you my little baby in a second.
Yeah.
So this is the one I rescued. Here he is.
Oh my goodness. How old now? It was still a little kitten,
He's
right?
7 to 8 weeks. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So just a
Beautiful.
baby too, also weaning.
Litter
But I
trained
can
yet or no? Like,
Oh yes. Oh, thank goodness. Litter trained. We're off the bottle. But even that, I mean, it was learning. I had to learn. It was feeding my own
oh,
sleep deprivation, do this, do that, do that. And you got to clean, and then the day you get the routine down, that afternoon it changes.
yeah. Well, it's funny. My
Mhm.
cat didn't know being in the shelter so long, didn't know how to walk up steps. So I had
Oh,
to teach her one day. It was so cute. Now she runs up the steps like crazy, but she had to walk up the steps. She didn't know how to do it. And it's just little things like that. She never looked in a mirror to see herself. So I put her in front of her
mhm.
mirror to like start like, touching
Mhm.
and like confused, but like it's like these little things. And you know what she does? I got goosebumps. So originally I told us you got to keep her in the room for a long time so she could acclimate. I did that for like 2 days. Then
Mhm.
she explored the whole house, downstairs, upstairs, and then I said I was scared to let her out, like sleep in our room at night. But now I'm gonna cry. She sleeps in the bed with us, and then we wake up, and she brings us toys from downstairs in her room. She brings little snakes, little onion, like little stuffed animals. She brings them up at the foot of our bed. Last night she brought one on the top of my head. I woke up and there was this little foot finger puppet, a mouse. I'm like, oh my God. So she's showing her signs of love, like an appreciation for us. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's beautiful. I got tears in my
Mhm.
eyes. Beautiful.
This is. I mean, think of the environment that you took her out of, and this is something
Hmm.
that not a lot of people know about cats. But cats have the emotional center in the same part of the brain as we do. They express and feel emotions so similar to us. So
Yeah.
you rescued her. She's
Mhm.
like, "This is my heavenly family." Wow, I hit the
Yeah. Yeah.
jackpot. She did. She
And her
hit the
name's Jackpot. That's what I
God,
said.
she did
That's why
it.
they called her that, because she really hit the jackpot with the amount of love we give her. Because we lost our other like domestic tabby last year. She died. She was 13, and that was so heartbreaking. We did like a little funeral, got her cremated. My kids were crying, but it was like to show them love. And I waited a whole year, and then just a few weeks ago, I'm like, let's go to the shelter, like just random. I'm like, I said, the pet's going to find us one day. I've been putting it off. And then just, I woke up, I was like, let's just go to the shelter today. Let's take a look. And then we walk in, and that's the one, you know?
That's it. What they call that cat distribution
Yeah.
distribution system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited I can't even speak.
I
But
know.
this is the call to action. This is the fun thing. Now I'm
Mhm.
thinking about, let's say you've got someone who needs pet sitting or who needs someone to, feed their cats while they're away. Wouldn't that be fun to do
Mhm.
as a group? Wouldn't that be fun? These are all the different things we can do during the holidays to create these lifelong connections with ourselves, with each other,
Mhm.
with your boys. They're going to have these memories forever. This is so exciting. Next time they have a friend who's talking about a cat, and be like, look, it's so much fun. This is what you do. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to take care of this. So they're going to spread the joy of what they're doing to their
Mhm.
friends and maybe help convince somebody else to do the same thing. So that when those parents are saying,
Mhm.
oh my goodness, she got a cat, they're talking about the cats and be like, Mom, it's okay. I know what to do. They told me I got to wake up early. I got to scoop the poop. I got to do this thing.
Mhm.
So in this example, this is beautiful, Jill. I really enjoy very much talking with you about things because it seems that every discussion we have is kind of already in action in both of our lives. And this is
Yeah,
very exciting to share with everybody.
it is.
It is. How did you feel just taking those steps, looking back now when you were driving, like when you picked her up? What was that like, that initial excitement of, okay, we're doing this, all of the emotions?
Oh yeah, because we met her, and then we went back, and then they told us we couldn't see her. We went back. No one was there to help us. I'm like, what? Then we had to go
Mhm.
back again. And then, all right, now we're going to pick her up like the weekend. They begged to have it Friday. I'm like, I got to clean the house. I got to get the room ready. No, no, no. So Saturday, it was so exciting. I have picked so many pictures from that day. I can't wait to post them. I haven't yet.
Oh, please do, please do. I'd love to see them. But and you mentioned that you clean the room. Is that something that is fun for you to do, or did you just do you just
Well,
generally put things like that off?
no, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a clutter
Mm,
organizational issue in my whole house.
mm,
And I knew the
mm,
cat was going to end up in my son's room, and I wanted his room clean. We did his room, but then I also had to clean out the pantry room, which was a disaster. Get the
mhm.
litter box, get the food, get the special cat mats out, and do that. So I did that. It took a lot.
Yeah, it took a
Now
lot, but you did it, and you did it quickly, didn't you?
I did. Ironically, everything else in my house is so slow to move. Isn't that amazing?
But that's the emotion and that's the action step you took.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
not paying attention so much to the
Yep.
clutter as the stuff you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. So thank you for proving all of my points that I was talking about so effortlessly and easily for me.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. What are you guys going to be doing for the weekend then, or the rest of the week? When are the boys at school?
Yeah, they're in school, and I mean, they come home from school and they just play and they love the cat. And then we have sports and stuff and all, but
Mhm.
they want to get up or they want to play with the cat. It's amazing. They come home and they just run for the cat. It's so cute. It's so cute.
That is super cute. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really hope that you do get the second one because it's easier having two because they can be playmates for each
Yeah.
other and the little
Well,
nips are
here's
to
the
the
deal.
table. Mhm.
I'm supposed to pick it up Thanksgiving weekend, but now I need someone to foster it for like 3 or 4 weeks because I want to make it a Christmas morning surprise. I think that'd be extra special. So I'm trying to find a friend or someone because I can't have the cat at the house, and I want that surprise factor Christmas morning because they're
Mhm.
like that's like the gift, you know. Because they'll if I get ahead of time, it's exciting, but they're gonna lose that luster. So I have to find someone. I asked my sister, she's like, well, I don't know. I got my dog, and I'm like, I gotta find someone.
Well,
Sure, I
because
can.
you've mentioned it and you've spoken it out and it's with true and genuine need, it's going to happen. So just yeah, Foster's already there. It's already happened 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks.
Got
You've
it.
already got it for Christmas. This is exciting.
I know it is.
But this is the beautiful thing. Now you've got this wonderful relationship set up with your boys. You've got
Hmm.
all of this happening. Going ahead, 2024 is already going to be amazing because it's going to be this beautiful, bouncy joy in your life. This is what nourishing, naturally healthy living is. Not to
Yep.
focus on the clutter, but how your relationships have improved
Hmm.
because of it. If anybody wants to reach out to me for more of this,
Yep.
please reach out to me at Being Better Me LLC. And you can email me at hello@beingbettermellc.com. And let's have a conversation like this, because this is what it is about for me. It's not about jumping through hoops. It's not about doing these things. It's about connection. Let's connect. Let's see what we can do together. Let's see how we can use the emotion that you're currently experiencing, your feelings about these ideas that you want to step in and just make your world. Let's make it beautiful. Let's help each other to create the change that we want to see in the world. Because there's a lot of change that's necessary. But
and remind people that haven't followed us since the beginning. Tell us how you rescued your cat.
Oh, so this was going to a massage. It was a torrential downpour in Brownsville, Texas, which is, quite arid, going to take care of my needs. But when I got there, I heard kittens screaming under a deck and I couldn't get under, even though I'm tiny, there were too many piles. So I used my voice, and I've lost my voice. When I was 15, I couldn't barely even say my name. So my journey has also been getting my voice back. But I called, and this little baby who was barely 2 weeks old was literally bobbing in the water. That's why his name is Bob, a bit of dark humor, bobbing in the water towards me. And when he couldn't move anymore, it was cold, he stopped moving. My friend gave me a broom, and I used a broom to literally sweep him to me, picked him up, used my breath to warm him slowly, as you're supposed to. And that's where it started. Bottle feeding, happy baby. He's been checked out by the vet. She's looking at me like, how did you do that? And I'm like, you know what? It's when you're wanting something with pure intention, your willpower in this world can really create miracles. But you've just got to really just step into it and not be afraid of who you are. Not be afraid of who you are, because being afraid of who you are is going to hold you back. And we deserve your light. We deserve your light. This whole world deserves your amazing light. But Jill, we both know that there are people that you open up to and that there are people that you don't.
Yeah.
And so be careful with your energy, protect it. Be the beautiful, bright spark that you are. But if people are dimming your light, they may not be the ones that are going to fire you up. And you might need to start traveling a little bit and start reaching out to other people. And that's just as it should be as well.
I want to travel the world. I'm like, it's hard with the kids, but there's so much in my life I want to do and just do and do. And it's so, gosh, how many countries have you been to and lived?
Oh my goodness. So I grew up in South Africa, was in New York. Then I went to Taiwan. We've been to Bali. I've been to Thailand. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Indonesia.
Wow.
Now America, England, a lot of the European countries. I've literally traveled, but I've asked for a great big life. When my mom died, with all of my grief, I said, now hers is done. I need a great big life. And it's happened. It really has. So you can't get what you ask for. Just be aware of what you're asking for. And just also understand it might not be as you expect, but it's in the stepping in, it's taking the action and taking those little actionable steps every day that it unfolds and you get to see who you are as these things happen. It's fun. It's like sitting back and watching the best movie in the world with a front row seat and you get the VIP ticket. What are you going to make of that movie?
I love it. Well, thank you so much.
So
my
have
goodness.
Such a beautiful day.
Remind us again how we can contact you.
Hello at beingbettermellc.com. And you can head over to my social medias, Being Better Me LLC.
Oh my goodness. And we call you Christine Vibrant because
Christine Vibrant. Yes. Christine Vibrant.
You are so vibrant.
You have to be. You got to.
Thank you so much. Pleasure having you back, and we'll talk soon. Good luck with your kitty. I'll keep you posted on mine, okay?
Yes.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.